For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 4 of the Roma Career Mode series here on FIFA 18. Thank you for all of your continued feedback with regards to potential transfer decisions to be made. We had over 1,000 comments on yesterday's video alone. Actually, not yesterday's video, it will be the day before that. I apologise, there wasn't any videos yesterday other than the pre-scheduled Football Manager stream replay upload. Your boy was a little bit more hungover than he was expecting to be on January the 1st, so I didn't get the chance to record. So January the 2nd, time to actually get back into grind mode. So we'll be finishing the transfer window today, playing Atalanta and Inter Milan, and of course going through transfer deadline day, taking on board all of your guys' feedback from the last couple of episodes. Actually, one thing that I thought I was aware of but wasn't sure was that Antonio Sanabria is actually a former Roma player. I didn't actually Google it before I made the video. I did afterwards, especially once I started seeing you guys mentioning it in the comments, and actually looked a little bit more in detail. Sanabria went from Roma to Betis, but Roma had a clause in the, well, in fact 2 clauses of mention in the contract or in the deal itself, stating that Roma would get 50% of any further transfer fee that was made on. This is in real life, of course. So, say Betis sold Sanabria for 20 million euro, Roma would get 10 million euro of that. Also, there was apparently a buyback clause in the contract for Roma to pick up Antonio Sanabria again, should they wish to do so. So what I've actually done is acted on something that was genuinely in Antonio Sanabria's real-life contract and brought him back to the club. So I think that's kind of a nice thing, actually, to actually inadvertently do something that may genuinely happen in real life ahead of time. So I'm pleased with the Sanabria signing. Obviously, we brought in Riyad Mahrez as well. We are looking for potential centre-back and or midfield signings to bulk out the number of players we have in the squad. Now, rather than make loads of transfers in this first window and then not really do much in January, what I'm going to do is take the 2 most popular suggestions from the centre-back role and the centre-mid role and buy one of them in this window and then reassess in January and potentially, probably, buy one more in January. But for now, with the squad numbers we have and the depth we have in any given position, as you can see, I have Moreno, Castan and Fazio and Juan Jesus as backup centre-backs. So I'm not going to go for Jonathan Tah right now. He was the most popular centre-back option that you guys were voting for or giving me your suggestions for. What I will do, considering we only really have Gonalons and then injured Pellegrini for the centre-mid roles, I'm going to go and buy Fred, the Brazilian midfielder from Shakhtar. So let me go into my transfer hub, sort by position. So I'm going to remove Rugani. He was not that popular a suggestion, or not that popular an option. People were saying that I should kind of lean away from him. So Jonathan Tah is the main target. I would, if I have the money, consider Marquinhos still in January. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on the centre-mid role, and we are going to try and bring in Fred. Now, he doesn't have a minimum fee release clause, but his wages are pretty minuscule at just £20,000, or 24 I think it was actually. But we will offer a transfer fee, and I'll just offer them 20 million straight off the bat, and I'm hoping they might actually accept that immediately. They want 31.3, okay, they're going to ask a little bit more than I perhaps envisaged them wanting. I'll offer them 23 and see if they'll meet me somewhere in the middle. I'll be willing to pay up to 27. But they seem at present to be, to be being a little bit more stubborn. So let's offer 25, and if they ask for 31.3 again, yep, no, they're happy with that. That's good. £25 million. So he's on £23,000 a week currently at Shakhtar. We can more than afford that here at Roma. So he wants an important squad role. He will have that. He'd be the 4th option for a midfield role, and we currently have 3 players in that midfield. For you, they don't really have any. No one really tends to have any preference with contract length in career mode. It's very, very rare that you get someone say, "I'd like a such and such length contract." So I'll offer him 25 grand a week and see what they say to that, and then a signing on fee of £1 million, and they're willing to take £22.5 million. So you'd actually take a wage cut. 10 appearances, 300 grand, that's nothing. I shall accept. Right then, another new signing has joined us. Fred is in. I will put him immediately on the bench, ahead of Skorupski, actually, the goalkeeper. I very rarely tend to have a goalkeeper on the bench, just because it's so very rare that you end up needing a goalkeeper on the bench. So let's just do this and rotate people around so they're all in position order for my OCD's sake. And we'll go now into the first game of the Serie A season against Atalanta with new signings Sanabria and Riyad Mahrez in the starting 11, the recalled Mario Rui at left back, and new signing Fred on the bench. And he will undoubtedly feature at some point in this first game. Drop the video a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. I'm not planning on doing anything else in this window, but there's still 2 weeks to go. And as we saw with the Edin Dzeko deal, if something comes about, then I would definitely consider it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But for now, let's concentrate on trying to get 3 points in our first game in Serie A. Here's Ilicic. Really good left foot on him. This is brilliant football from from Atalanta. Little cheeky back heel shot from their striker there. Corner to come in from Alejandro Gomez, who will be a very tricky player to deal with in this game. And the header from Kurtic goes over the top of the bar. So 2 chances for Atalanta in the opening 4 minutes, but neither of them causing me any sort of problem whatsoever. Cornelius showing some good strength there. Out to Olasini, who has a shot that's well saved by Alisson. Atalanta starting on the front foot here. This could be quite a difficult game. Corner to come in, and that should be keeper's ball. He's elected to punch rather than catching that, and that would have been one of the best first-time volleys I'd ever seen had it gone into the back of the net. It did brush the top of it as it dipped at the last moment. The technique's superb. The finish, not far away at all. Nice tackle by Florenzi. Here's Riyad Mahrez' first touch as a Roma player after 18 minutes. Nangolan will get it back to the Algerian. He'll drive into the box, try fake Rabona. Look back for the Belgian, who can't give us a 1-0 lead as the shot's blocked. But, and he couldn't quite get that under control as it dropped free on the edge either. That's annoying, but not to worry. Plenty of time to get ourselves in front. Nangolan, forward to El Shaarawy. Sanabria. El Shaarawy's gone again, so we'll just knock it in front of him. Takes in his stride well enough. That's a lovely spin. We'll look to accelerate away from the defender here, which he's doing well enough for the time being. We'll look for the early cross. Sanabria's underneath this. Flick that backwards, but not as he falls to the ground, not able to give us a 1-0 lead. And going with the throw. Riyad Mahrez will whip early. Oh, and arriving is Strootman, and that's a really nice goal. Riyad Mahrez on his debut gets an assist. It's not really been that heavily involved, actually, Riyad Mahrez, to be honest, and I'll be honest, for a moment there, I thought Strootman had messed up the finish as well. We'll have a look at a replay. Just floated in towards him, and he just arrives at the right time and side foots it into the back of the net. I genuinely thought he was going to shoot wide, though. I'm not that confident with Strootman when it comes to being in front of goal. And to be fair, it glided off his foot and very nearly did go wide. In off the post, though. We lead after 49 minutes. Well, out wide to Alejandro Gomez, who spins well. Florenzi, I thought, had won the ball off him there. Ilicic drills the ball in, and Strootman involved at both ends of the pitch. Getting involved defensively as well. Josip Ilicic to cross it in, and flicked on by Cornelius. Defender ends up in the back of the net, but thankfully for me, the ball does not. Florenzi into Nangolan. Through the gap there to Strootman. Out wide to Mario Rui. Going to drive forward here. Use Strootman again. So that ball was intended for. This is really good football. And Sanabria gets a goal on debut. Riyad Mahrez and Antonio Sanabria making the desired impact. That's what we wanted from them when we bought them. And they're doing exactly what the pennies were paid for. Mahrez with an assist from across, and Sanabria with a goal through the middle at striker. Roma 2, Atalanta 0. Sanabria and Mahrez in front of me. Just going to go sideways here to Fred, who's come on for Nangolan, who picked up a knock earlier on. You may even have seen him actually on the ground with that injury earlier on in the game. De Rossi. Good hit. Well held by Berisha. 20 minutes to go. All of our new signings have been involved at some point in this game now. Sanabria could even look for Fred again, perhaps. And through that gap, and Fred will get there, and he very nearly does score, and Elshar can't quite sort his feet out quickly enough to get to the loose ball as it drops free. Strootman to Fred. To De Rossi. Sanabria to Fred. To El Shaarawy. Finish to 3-0. Fred with an assist on debut as well. All three new signings involved in goals in our first competitive game of the season. One thinks we made the right decision with the players that we signed. Thanks, lads, for giving me the suggestions. Rui to Elshar. There's Sanabria. Fred there. Atalanta started this game the better team. I'm actually going to go all the way out wide here to Elshar. Very nearly 4. Atalanta started this game the better team and were the more threatening and looked the more likely to score a goal. But as things have developed and we've grown into the game, we've asserted our dominance, shall we say, with regards how the game has actually panned out. Prati here will look for Elshar, who will spin on the defender, look to get in behind, but isn't strong enough to get past Tolle, unfortunately. Never mind, 3-0 with 9 minutes to go. Rossi, Fred, Sanabria with a bit of space here. Antonio Sanabria, 4-4. 4-4 indeed. 4-0 to Roma now away from home against Atalanta. Didn't expect, especially after the way pre-season went, for this first competitive game to go this well. However, we do have Inter Milan next, and that will be a true test of what this Serie A season is going to be like competitively. There's the final whistle. A convincing victory to start the season. Very, very pleased with that. Not only the result, but the fact that all of the goals involved new signings. Couldn't have scripted that. Didn't expect it to happen. Delighted that it did. If anything happens now between this point and the Inter game, then I will bring you it transfer window wise. If not, we'll head straight into that game against Inter Milan. Unfortunately, we have had some bad news in between the game against Inter and the one we just played. It's that Radja Nainggolan will be out for 3 weeks with a sprained ankle. Just as well then that we signed a new midfielder in the shape of Fred, isn't it, to be completely honest? I'll train my players. I shall rotate Nainggolan out. I'm actually going to switch formation as well. I started with the defensive 4-3-3 in that game and switched to the more attacking 4-3-3, and I'm just more comfortable with it. I'm just more comfortable with the side set up that way. So in that vein, I'm going to do it now. We will go here to the 4-3-3 attack. Strootman can go back there. Nainggolan will go in at cam, but for now, obviously, he'll come out and we'll throw Fred in, and then Nainggolan can go on the bench. And see, this is why I bought an extra central midfielder, you see. Pellegrini would ordinarily go there, but we'll go with Under. This then will be the strongest side that we've faced so far this season, all told, including pre-season. Inter Milan starting a 4-2-3-1. Handanovic, Dalbe, Miranda, Ranocchia, D'Ambrosio, Vicino, Gagliardini, Candreva, Vallejo, Perisic and Mauro Icardi up top. Extremely strong side, expecting this to be a very tough test. My starting lineup is all but the same, other than Fred in for Nainggolan, and actually I've got Hector Moreno starting at centre-back ahead of Alexander Kolarov. Other than that, we are unchanged from the side that just beat Atalanta by 4-0. Candreva starting off on the front foot for Inter Milan though. Into Borja Valero, the shot well blocked. Manolas thankfully reacts in time to get to the loose ball before Vallejo gets a second attempt. Amaras taking that in his stride very well indeed. I'll try and turn his side, and we have a chance at this end of the pitch now. Sanabria with the effort, blocked, it drops to El Shaarawy, and I can't get the secondary shot off. Cardi out wide to Candreva. Former Lazio player. Oh, the footwork. Oh, I think his teammate might have gotten in the way there. Candreva, obviously a former Lazio player. That's why he's getting all of the boos and whistles from the crowd here at the Stadio Olimpico. But very nearly creating the first goal of the game there for Inter Milan. Dalbert looks for the big switch for Candreva. Mario Rui underneath it. Does well, but he's actually only headed that straight to Ivan Perisic, who's gotten away from me. Good save by Alisson. Inter pushing for the first goal of the game. 18 minutes in, corner from Candreva. Whipped towards the edge of the box. Won by Miranda. Hell of a header from 18 yards. But it wasn't far away at all. Mario Rui through there to Daniele De Rossi. Look for Sanabria and wait for runners. Oh, it's superb footwork from Antonio Sanabria. It's also a very good save from Sami Handanovic. Elshar dinks it back in. Well saved by the goalkeeper to keep us out. 10 minutes to go till half time. It's Borja Valero. Spins back. Mauro Icardi's there. Oh, couldn't quite get there with Hector Moreno to put a foot in. Vicino. Oh, Icardi goes. No! Unreal! What What a goal from Mauro Icardi. First time on his left foot from 40 yards. How has he done that then? Maybe not 40, but definitely close to 30. First time with a man on his shoulder, on his weak foot. I can't believe it. What a goal. 1-0 into Milan. Oh, Riyad, that was disgusting. Completely destroyed the defender there and left him standing. We'll get this into Fred. Then look for Sanabria at the right time. Antonio Sanabria to give us the equaliser. It trickles into the bottom corner. What a signing this young man may well have been. 3 goals in the opening 2 games of the Serie A season for him so far, and there's still time to push for more. Really nice finish, squeezing it away from Samir Handanovic, who denied him in the first half with a very good save. That is a top finish from what will hopefully be a top striker for us. 1-1, 5 minutes into the second half. Here's Dalbert. Oh, nice ball through to Borja Valero. That is an extremely important save from Alisson. Inter extremely close to immediately going back in front. If it weren't for the smart reactions of my Brazilian goalkeeper, we would have been behind again. It's a nice piece of football from Perisic in the midfielder that played the 1-2 with him. And a drop of the shoulder and a scoots ball into the middle, and Mario Rui's there at the right time. Perisic with a secondary effort as well that we will clear. Inter have been the better team throughout this game. We are hanging on for a point at present. Rossi again. Strootman. Sanabria's actually come short. Back to Kevin Strootman. Do we go to Sanabria again? It could go to Fred. Potentially to win us the game. No. Brozovic in the way. Corner to come in. Florenzi will take it. It's a good delivery. Elshar's underneath it. Not necessarily renowned for his heading ability. And proving that point right there. Cardi back to Candreva. To Mauro again. Nice tackle by Hector Moreno. Elsharawi with a spin. Fred with a touch. Will drop to Elshar, but definitely wasn't intended to end up at his feet in that manner. Rui to Elsharawi again. Around the corner to Fred. Good spin. Strootman. Daniele De Rossi there. Switching it from side to side now. Trying to create something. Florenzi will go for the worldie. It was going to dip. It's the final whistle. It's a 1-1 draw against Inter Milan that I had to hang on for most of the game. They were definitely better than me in that game. I had a lot of possession. That was mainly just me keeping the ball out of their hands or feet so that they couldn't punish me. Right, deadline day. We've not even reached deadline day, and already we've had more offers in for our players. Arsenal looking for Daniele De Rossi. Offers from both North London clubs in this window for the experienced Italian, shall we say, at 33 years of age. His stats will probably start to drop soon, but he's still going to be in my starting lineup almost every single game for at least the first half of the season. I will do a squad report in tomorrow's episode, so you can see the stats of everybody as we head. Pellegrini's on his way back. That's good news. As we speak about potentially Daniele De Rossi's stats dropping and needing a replacement, he's probably going to be that replacement. The top deals so far are Jesus Corona. As you can see on the left, it's just happened to Everton from Porto. Edin Dzeko to Liverpool for 42 million and Thomas Müller to Barcelona for 54.5. Lotus deals so far elsewhere include Traore to FC Twente on loan, but we'll see what else happens in the January window. Now, I'm not sure how much money will get spent in Italy. An offer for Skorupski. Now, I'd be open to selling him, but not with such a small amount of the window left. I will try and negotiate. If I can get 13, 14 million for him, which is a big stretch, if I can get 13, 14 million for him, then that would be wonderful. I'll just ask for 12.5 and they'll probably walk away. But at this stage, it's either you pay a premium or you don't get the player on transfer deadline day. And Villarreal weren't willing to pay the premium, so they're not going to get the player. Any other loan latest deals? Oh, Pacini has gone to Swansea on loan. It's interesting. He's a good right back, Christian Pacini. Lemina's gone to Burnley on loan from Southampton as well. Big deal's gone through somewhere. A loan offer for Stefan El-Shaarawy. What on earth makes you think I'm going to accept that, Werder Bremen? You're out of your mind. Oh, you know that player that starts every game for you on the left-hand side of your midfield, of your front three? Yeah, can we have him on loan? No, go away. What else is going to happen on transfer deadline day? 7 hours to go. Another deal has gone through. Another couple of deals gone through. Now Manchester United looking for Daniele De Rossi. All we need now is bids from Chelsea and Liverpool, and we'll have had all but Manchester City come in for De Rossi. But I don't understand why he's so popular. He's a very good player, but his stats are going to drop. Johnny to Real Madrid is an interesting one from Celta Vigo, because they have a young left-back already at Real Madrid in Theo Hernandez. So, not really too sure why they need Johnny, but they've gone for him. £254 million spent on deadline day so far, and one of those deals that has seen it jump, I'm probably in the way for it, but I'll show you the full transfer history at the end of the window. But Marco Reus has gone to Chelsea for £53.6 million. A huge deal that will very much strengthen one of the best teams in England and very much weaken one of the best teams in Germany. Interesting to see them let him go for only 53 million. And Candreva is now out on loan. He was very good for Inter against me, but he's moved to Borussia Mönchengladbach on loan from Inter Milan. I'll give them their dues, EA, this year, because it's been a problem for multiple years on career mode. The way transfers work in career mode now is so much better than it used to be. There used to be so many really, really odd scripted transfers that went through. Now, there's so many really, really odd, unexpected transfers that go through, which is so much better. But with 1 hour to go, we'll quickly scroll through and see who's done what in the window here in Italy. So, Atalanta spending £4.8 million. San Maximin was a loan that came in. We saw that down here in the latest deals tab, actually. There you go. From Nice to Atalanta for San Maximin. Benevento signing 4 players as well. Bologna bringing in 3. Cagliari bringing in 4. A lot of business done by a number of Italian teams, but you can tell from the figures spent just how big of a difference financially there is between Serie A and the Premier League. Fiorentina spending 25.25 million on Okazaki, Parker and Munain, selling Babacar and Iseric. Genoa bringing in Josie Altidore, not really too sure that was a good move. Farias and Asako in Verona. A Campos in to potentially be the replacement then for Candreva. And as Davide Santon leaves, Crescito has come in, so that's probably a replacement for him at left back. And Nakayama's also come in. Roberto, one presumes, Sergi Roberto in at Juventus with Piazza and Benatia going out. Lazio have brought in Maximilian Meyer and Jonathan de Guzman, and Basta has left them. Lars Stindl, the only transfer in at AC Milan, but they did make about 12 signings in real life prior to the start of any career mode save. Seamus Coleman, interestingly, in at Napoli with Husai going out. That's an odd one because Husai will grow better than Seamus Coleman. Gulam out as well. So they've sold 2 sold 2 wing backs, brought in 2 wing backs in Coleman and Mitchell Weiser. Staphylidis and Florinus, I don't know how to pronounce it, have come in as well. We've spent 86.5 million, so the most of anyone so far. We've also made more than anyone so far with the sale of Edin Dzeko, Nura and Jerson, of course, going out on loan. 4 signings in at Spal. Sampdoria have done a little bit. Sassuolo have done a little bit. Torino done a little bit. Kimpembe is a player, actually, that you guys recommended to me that has ended up going to Torino there. And Udinese doing a little bit as well with Vialva and Rodrigo coming in and Yardi going out. We'll have a look at the biggest deals of the window. Why would you offer now, Frankfurt? You know what? I'm just going to delete the email. That's not even worth my time. Right, transfer history. Let's have a look at the biggest deals all told of this window. Thomas Muller and Marco Reus top it, with the only 2 deals being over £50 million in window number 1. Edin Dzeko, the only one above 40. And Corona, Wilfried Zaha to Leipzig is an unexpected one and a big one as well at 34.6. 34.5 was Maris to me. Eric Dyer to Liverpool, that's one that we didn't see. Lucas Moura to Southampton is another one we didn't see. Iñaki Williams to Watford. Mehdi Benatia went to PSG. Did wonder where he'd gone. Brahimi in at Schalke. Sanabria to me, of course. Lars Stindl to AC Milan. It was Sergi Roberto to Juventus for 26.2. And Zonzi's gone to Leverkusen. Nathaniel Klein to Leicester. There are so many different, refreshing transfers that you don't expect to see. Olivier Giroud to Dortmund for £24.3 million. Jonas to Bayern Munich. Ilya Ramendi to West Ham. Bellarabi to Wolfsburg. Pereira to Man United we saw and was a very good deal. Soler to Leverkusen. Oyarzabal to Swansea City. Tagliafico to Real Sociedad. Piszczek to Real Madrid. Real Madrid signing a couple of wing-backs, actually, Piszczek and Johnny as well. Jonas Hector to Hoffenheim, Gulam to Mönchengladbach, Nastasic to West Ham, back to English football for him. Loic Perrin to Monaco, Piatti to Real Betis. Any others that stand out? Celta Vigo selling their other decent wing-back as well in Hugo Mayo. Oscar De Marcos has gone to Sevilla. Kieran, why are Real Madrid buying so many wing-backs? I don't understand that. Ryan Bertrand to Arsenal, as well as Ibrahima Traore as well. Leon Bittencourt has gone to Everton. Milner to Swansea. Jose Gaya to Chelsea. Rafael to Palace. Salomon Kalou to Barcelona. Schmelzer to Manchester United. All of these deals we hadn't seen in the general progression of the window, and all of them extremely curious. Musonda's gone to Rubin Kazan for £13.6 million. That is a really odd window, but one that I'm pleased with our business from. We'll have 2 games and a squad report tomorrow, and then we'll be up to 3 games per episode from then on out. And we are currently 7th in the table as the top side to not get 100% record thus far this season. 5 goals scored, the 1 goal conceded. And I'm pleased enough with the opening start to this season. And we'll face our first game in the Champions League in the next episode as well against Paris Saint-Germain. But that's for tomorrow. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more content. I'll see you next time.